Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. 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 this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. The way you like it. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 I'll keep going till my feet become blown.
ESL Dance, ESL Challenger League, in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL,
our grand final of Cup number 1. Winner gets to go through to their regional tournament. But before we dive into that, I'm Nari Mizuki. I'm going to be one of your casters today. And Freddie, you weren't here last night, but you're here today. How you doing?
I'm making my debut. I'm ready to go. I'm super excited. I will be very honest, a little bit tired traveling back from land today, but I've got the Red Bull down me. I've got the coffee down me, and especially when the Counter-Strike starts to play, it's gonna bring me the energy when I'm watching this amazing CS. But I'm gonna flip the question back over to you, Sam. How you doing? How was your time yesterday in South America?
Yesterday was a vibe. It really was. I enjoyed the games. You know, got to cast a little bit with Mac, which I don't get to do terribly often, so that was super entertaining. But yeah, you know, good games, good matches. Unfortunate for Galoris, but we've got a bit of a grudge match going on here today. Before we dive into that, you can see it on the bottom. It says new format, new prizing. So I think we can go ahead and take a look at what the new prize structure looks like coming into season 51. There's a few things that have changed up here and there, so we'll just get that up as quickly as possible. But it's really exciting, and there it is. First place, $8,000, and that goes all the way down to 5th, 6th for a total of $17,500. So just about everybody gets to walk away with a slice of that pie.
Yeah, especially for VRS, when you first win money, the amount of points you win ramps up very quickly. It's a very sharp curve. I think the stat is your first $100 is the same as 60% of winning 50,000. So yeah, winning money not only is just quite nice, but it's amazing for the VRS. But we're going to be pulling up a bracket, which I will say, pretty spicy. Over in Europe, I don't think there was an amazing field of teams that accepted to play in the first Challenger Cup. But here in South America, there were a lot of the best teams, and a lot of them fell very early.
Yep, but the ones that did have, a lot of them, you know, got to fight through that lower bracket. We saw some really strong performances here. ODDIK, of course, shows up massively. They're a team that is very familiar, went through a couple of roster changes recently, seems to have worked for them, and ODDIK and Galoris that ended up in the lower bracket final, actually both of them wound up in the lower bracket because of MIBR. So I think it's very telling that each of them both lost to the team that could ultimately go on to win the whole thing. Now, speaking of that upper bracket, there we can see MIBR, they had been waiting in the wings, but ODDIK has now come to join them. But was there anything in this bracket? I mean, we said, you know, lots of amazing teams. Was there anything that kind of stood out, kind of made you go, hang on a second?
Well, I mean, like, you look at that lower bracket, there's a point in time where, like, you have Sharks, Red Canids, and Imperial all playing out in the, like, second round of the lower bracket, while you have, like, Glories versus Shinden going on in the upper bracket. It's like, it almost doesn't make any sense. Imperial, they're making many a change. They've even made a change today, if I'm not mistaken, by bringing in Levy and Decenty. So there's been a lot going on over in their camp. Very disappointing from Red Cannons, very disappointing from Sharks. But MIBR, who have been just so consistent this whole year, since signing LNZ, since picking up the Swedish IGL, he has been very obvious the stability he's brought to this roster, and they've just come leaps and bounds ahead of what they were playing like last year.
I think looking at that move on paper could leave you with a few questions, right? Like, this is a South American team, and sure, you know, you've got Clem on there already, so there's already a bit of a mix-up in there. But then to bring in another, you know, non-native speaker, native, of course, to Brazil, and then bring them in as your IGL as well. It does could have left you with a few questions as to how that was going to go, but so far, so good. And LNZ himself has been putting up some decent numbers. And on the other side, we've got ODDIK, who also had a couple of changes here and there. What I really enjoyed from them yesterday, so Woody has been playing Rifle, but he picks up that secondary AWP on maps like Dust 2, and I really enjoyed watching how they played together, because it brings an element of the unexpected into the map. So we'll have a look now as the veto starts to come through. Maybe we'll get that. Nope, no Dust 2. MIBR bans that out immediately. So, well, there's my whole fun shebang about Woody and the secondary AWPing.
Yeah, I mean, it's MIBR's insta-ban. Very usual for the first two maps. ODDIK are in a bit of a predicament when it comes to this veto, because they have no real, like, they have no clear way in. They have got a lot of recent history against MIBR. The last time they played, also the first time this year, was on LAN, and they picked Anubis, and MIBR won on Anubis. And then so ODDIK, the other day in the upper bracket, they went, okay, MIBR's worst map is Overpass, so they should pick into Overpass. But they still lost that as well. And it feels like ODDIK have just never been able to break through and be able to claim their map win against MIBR, who are also then looking just superb on Inferno right now. They're looking like maybe one of the best teams full stop in South America on this map. So it's going to be super difficult on Anubis, especially because this is Klim's best map statistically. He's the highest rare player in this tournament, like pretty much every tournament they've played so far this year. And you can see he's already had a one tap in this round, and this pistol round has just completely fallen apart for ODDIK, which is just not a great sign for foreboding the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good read isn't necessarily the right word, but the plan
It was a good
comes
read.
into this
It
one.
was you could see like they slowed down, they let for the push. Klim gets the opening kill, shooting someone in the side of the head. All things considered, that's a pretty like, you know, they pivoted very well. The lurks also on the B bomb site were just magnificent.
Yeah, certainly expecting that aggression out of the new window, which has become a little bit of a staple on this map. And ODDIK also shown
that's
to
a
enjoy
miss
doing
smoke.
that shenanigan yesterday as well. And yes, it is. It actually gave KSLOX a possibility, an opportunity, but does get caught out, unfortunately.
So that should be way deeper because he got jump spotted there. That's why it missed. Like where it lands is fine, but it's just not deep enough. So he gets seen in water and boom, dead. Instantly traded. Like just a very silly mistake for ODDIK where they force into it. They have a gimmick round. The round is sound and they throw a smoke a fraction wrong. And because of that, the whole round unravels and boom, you've given the T side a 3-3-0 start.
Certainly seems to be the case. What I did find interesting is that ODDIK didn't force up on that round. That was something that they were doing a lot of yesterday.
They
and
did.
Mac and I were actually saying that it was quite a common occurrence that we're seeing more and more of recently here.
They did force by.
Actually, they did as well, yeah. Sorry, I was looking at the money and I thought they actually had a fair amount and maybe they hadn't, but no, they did as well. And they're still going to keep doing that. And that actually became a little bit of an issue for them yesterday as well, where they just kind of kept trying to force into these rounds over and over again. I mean, they did ultimately end up winning the series, so it didn't really bite them too heavily, but we'll see how things pan out today. Because again, as you said, this is looking like it's probably just going to be a 3-0 start. And we'll have to see how things shape up in round number 4.
I feel like we maybe didn't necessarily get to touch on either teams too much. MIBR have been the staple of consistency and also the staple of grinding. There's been so many lands in South America to kick off this year, and MIBR have just been dominating everything to online to LAN, and it's actually been ridiculous. After they lost in the open qualifier on like the second round to Shindom for the IM Rio closed qualifier, they've gone from that sort of performances to just being superbly dominant on LAN. LNZ has brought way more stability. He's also brought a better firepower. Kick It was really weak. I mean, LNZ does still struggle on the T side, but that's because he makes so much space for the likes of Insani and Klim, who in just every single tournament, they're the best players against quite literally everybody. And ODDIK there felt that wrath many a time, and I've got a feeling they are going to be feeling it once more, as already Insani and Klim, 11 kills combined within 3 rounds played, and they're looking to now target this B bomb site.
Woody is already capitulated, so LNZ with a double opener will completely open up the site. No pushback whatsoever after those first 2 kills, and MIBR left in that situation of, do we go for this? They don't have a kit on, to hand. They're all very separated from one another. You can actually see a little bit of attempted counter flanking happening, trying to spot out where Nate is. I don't think it's predicted that he's gone quite all the way through the spawn there, but ultimately they do make the right call here and just back the hell out, hold on to the weaponry. And that's a really unfortunate one just because of how quickly it fell apart. And I think that you can very quickly start to feel that pressure as the rounds continue in this sort of fashion.
Oh, that's not good. 3 saving there is a completely different story. You can see, even Nate is like, yeah, we shouldn't have been losing those 2 players in A main like that. But You're talking about how quick this all falls apart. Well, it's not because MIBR do anything great. It's because Woody has a smoke in his hand when the smoke fades. Like, you'd expect more from the IGL. I mean, understandably, him transitioning onto a rifle coming into this year and Nard stepping in and taking the AWP, it is, of course, going to be a transitional period for Woody where we are going to see those teething issues. I felt like it's actually been a massive benefit for ODDIK that they finally made that decision to kick Woody off the AWP, because a lot of people have been saying it for a long time. And like 18-year-old Dear Zero playing small site anchor, but then really kind of showing what he can perform. And then Nard's on the AWP, like, it's upgraded ODDIK, but then you're going to have those issues of just Woody hasn't been a rifler for his whole career, and timings like that, you know, they're kind of inexcusable, and because of it, MIBR are just running away.
Yeah, it seems like opportunities not quite knocking. Ugh.
How does Venom Zera get that kill?
Pure aura. But I think that's what we kind of expect coming into this matchup. Not necessarily crazy plays like that, but just that MIBR are going to be that little bit elevated comparatively. You know, it was a 2-0 fairly one-sided affair when they met up a few days ago. This is the big rematch, and sure, you know, ODDIK have vengeance on the tip of their tongues, but MIBR took that series the previous time with good reason. As you mentioned a couple of times, they are looking very strong at the moment, trying to lock down this mid position, getting a little bit of damage in, but unfortunately not too much off the back of it. 2 kills, but it's MIBR up to 5, and I don't think MIBR are too concerned with those 2 kills right now.
A lot of people at home will probably be looking at this and being like, oh yeah, ODDIK, yeah, I mean, I remember Woody and MIBR back in 2022, but, you know, who cares? Look, they've been playing phenomenal Counter-Strike so far this year. They've only lost, apart from one kind of like weird blip against Fake Deburu, they've only lost against top 3 teams in South America this year. They've actually been playing genuinely phenomenal Counter-Strike. Nards has been performing so well with that AWP. They've got a CCT title under their belt. They've made a lot of runs, this challenger included. So this is no sleeper team in 2026. And Nards is showing us exactly his potential in this round with just getting aggressive, but then way too over-aggressive after he gets that first kill. Feels very unnecessary, and maybe a bit of the inexperience showing where he doesn't back off. And because of him dying there, it just opens up this round so perfectly for MIBR. They are able to isolate the A-bomb site, and that was a roller coaster of me being like, yeah, ODDIK, they're doing so well. Look, oh, no.
I think, yeah, inexperience, but also being a young player, you can kind of fall into the trap of feeling like you need to do something. You know, you're at a 5-round deficit. You haven't picked up a single round yet. The rounds haven't been super close. This is probably the closest round that they've had so far. And so you kind of feel like, okay, I've got this opening kill. I've got an AWP. It's an expensive, you know, piece of or equipment. I've got to make something happen here. And maybe you, off the back of that, kind of getting a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too showy. And unfortunately, it does end up getting punished. And that allows MIBR to go all the way up to 6 again. Not just that, obviously. There's a few factors that go into it. But it just feels like they're running circles around ODDIK at the moment. ODDIK are trying to respond in kind, but every time they try to reinforce an area, it's just, they just keep losing out on so many of these battles.
MIBR's progression right now makes me very excited for the future of South America, because it felt like we had teams, let's say the Red Canids, who qualified somehow for the last major in Budapest. Almost forgot. I was like, where was it held again? I was literally there. I just already forgotten. And same with Imperial. Like, Imperial went from stage 1 to stage 3, beating no good team. And it was like a real fugazi run. MIBR, they're actually starting to like be a contentious team if they continue to play like they're playing. You mentioned the addition of LNZ. There's no viable option for them in South America. And Kika, it was so obvious it wasn't working, like really actually from the get-go, and you could tell that the likes of Insani and Klim were also not being utilized properly. It's been night and day with LNZ. He's a very experienced IGL. This is a completely different task for him, which I think is something that needs to be understood. Of like, this is completely different to anything he's ever done in his career. But so far, so good, and looking to go 7-0. Case locks a nice deagle shot on the first entry player, but that will be it most likely. Dear sure gets another, but the bomb site is going to fall into the hands of MIBR, and Burnson on the lurk, just getting the impact that he so often does.
Round goes basically to the script, quote unquote.
Script?
Round number 8 now. Hence the quote unquote. I don't want anybody to panic. Start thinking any funny things. You know, anti-ecos, they tend to have a script. Sometimes teams go off that and they make miracles happen, but in this case it goes to be expected. Heading to round number 8 now. This could be the last opportunity in this round to make something happen. A great flash gives them an opening, but good God, that utility damage peppers them down so heavily, and within sheer moments, Case Locks, Nardis already taken off board. Woody is squishy as all hell. Down into the 3 versus 2. MIBR still realistically have their run of the map at the moment. Good control across both extremities. A bit of positioning towards water as well. Looks like that bomb is going to angle towards the A side. Woody now trying to take water, but Insani ready and waiting. Nate, beautiful timing. Catches Venom Zero with utility in his hand, but is forced to back away off the back of that. He has to stay dynamic. Can't get caught out of position. Dear Zera with a double suddenly makes this a winnable round. LNZ on a sliver of HP, alone with the bomb in hand. He's got just under a minute remaining. So there's still a world here. Depending on how he plays this one. Does he play patient, waiting to see if MIBR peek out and try to take space unnecessarily? Now it looks like he'll double back. He's not going to get caught on this cross here. Might get spotted as Dear Zera gets to the window. Hasn't found him. Oh, there we go. Jumps out, gets that final kill, and in a maybe unexpected manner, ODDIK find there first.
Yeah, I think of all rounds to have it come into fruition, I wouldn't have proverbially put my money on that round just because of how good the opening stage was. Like, this a big theme of this game so far has just been MIBR have such an amazing read on things and just completely understand what ODDIK are going to be doing. I think they instantly knew that they were going to be playing Anubis straight away. Like 100% ODDIK could only pick into it. And MIBR that round, like 4v2, they get the opening kills, they isolate, and then just fumble. It was a massive fumble for them. A good round from Dear Zero, sure, but a massive fumble from MIBR, and they can't let that spiral.
Already into the next now. The Molotov garnering quite a bit of space here for MIBR. And they've done, again, so much early utility damage. And Sani finds that first onto Nardis. Again, with 3 players so very low, a couple of stray bullets could put ODDIK, or rather MIBR, very firmly in the driving seat here, as if they weren't already. Just makes them that little bit more comfortable. You know, heated seats and all that fancy stuff. When you're now up close and personal, looking to catch somebody out in dark. Manages to find that first, not expecting the second, and LNZ double dips. And now Nate's all alone. 1 versus the world. A little bit of damage done, but I don't think there's too much more to be hoped for in this round. And holding on to the weapon, yeah, he's picked up the AWP now to try and save that one. And that's potentially all she wrote. Can't quite get the shot to land, but it gives him an opportunity, and maybe he'll get to keep it.
Honestly, this B bomb site on Anubis, Dear Zero, Woody, who normally, from what I saw fleetingly, actually pretty good at holding down that part of the map. they're being made to look like rookies right now. And it's not even necessarily the way that like LNZ gets 2 kills. It's the way that they were forced out of the positions that they were situated in. Like they just got made to look like noobs. By all things considered, quite simple stuff from MIBR. But ODDIK, they are struggling so much on this B bomb site. And while all of that's happening, guess what? Insani's just walking out middle and catching off the AWPer. So there's pressure being applied in spades over towards the B bomb site. Boom, you're losing players elsewhere. This is so hard right now for ODDIK. They are just being chewed up and spat out of this tournament. I thought this was going to be a 2-0, but I never thought that it was going to be what should have been a 9-0, like 13-0 basically game for MIBR on their opponent's map pick.
Oh, I've missed how straightforward you are. It's so refreshing.
And now I've got an ego as well.
Right. Oh no. What have we done, folks?
What
and
are
it's
we
quite
doing?
funny to think because they...
Sorry, like, what is happening?
It feels like an attempt at an eco shenanigan, but it's more shenanigan than anything else, and not the good
ODDIK,
kind. And what's really
ODDIK
funny
just
to
don't
think about
feel
is
like prepared. They feel so uncomfortable, and they're being caught off in like very menial ways.
And I have actually played on this map in the last couple of months, and it was a much closer affair. You know, it went to 6-6 at the half. It ended up on a 13-11. Like it was really close. So something has happened in the interim, whether that be a roster thing or yeah, like it's really odd to see that it's looking quite so disjointed when this should be where they feel their most comfort, right? Home ground advantage, and not the case.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay. I'm looking at some of their results. Anubis follows a very similar trend to a lot of the other maps of, okay, when they've lost, it's to Imperial, it's to Fluxo, it's to MIBR. Like, it follows that trend. This is not the map they've necessarily maybe got the best results on, but it's the map they've put their most faith in when they've gone into a lot of these series, where they have actively picked into it. They have before against MIBR, and they lost into a full 24 round, and they've taken, you know, Imperial to overtime when they've lost. Like, they're at least contending when they're losing. Right now, they're like, again, Diazera just doesn't even get to play the round. He just instantly dead.
Lose somebody that quickly into the round. Sure, it kind of trades back and forth a little bit here, and okay, Ace locks the kill with the MP9, brings it to 3v3, and oh, I was about to start talking about how maybe we're getting into a position where it could be a bit of a battle back, but unfortunately with that follow-up kill, gonna leave the last 2 remaining ODDIK players very alone in the grand scheme of things. I don't even know if you go for this. I mean, we're so close to the end of the half, so something's got to give, but money is a severe problem. There's so many compounding factors. No kits on board either, and the best decision that they can possibly make, and it's unfortunate that it's happened in so many rounds that this is the best decision, but just save.
I'm quite surprised actually to see them saving in a round like this, because it just feels like you have to get something on the board. Like, you really have to get something. I will say, one thing that is a massive boon to MIBR right now is the performance of LNZ. I introed the kind of conversation of MIBR by saying, look, he's a massive upgrade to Kikut, both I think by just, like, let's not mess around, be around the bush. He's obviously a better IGL. But also individually, like, it was pretty night and day. T-side, LNZ struggles. Because he plays to like set up his teammates, and especially Anubis is his worst map on the T side. Like, he's really bad, to be honest. Like, actually crazy bad stats. So he just sets up his teammates. He's 14-6.
Oof.
It's always going to be
stepping up.
such a difficulty.
I did also find it quite funny because it feels like you kind of Casa blessed him a little bit, but you did the reverse on Nardis. Because, like, you mentioned him being a good AWPer and he got 1 kill right as you said it. And that's the only kill he's managed to get so far. And, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into that. I'm not trying to...
as well.
Yeah, like, it's just, it's... Basically what we're saying, folks, is that this is all Freddy's fault. He did this.
Again, crazy that Woody's just pushing in a 4v3 solo.
Oh, dear Sarah. Unfortunate timing on that one. But it's the counter Zera to get the kill there. 3-on-2. You want to give a little bit of hope into this one and maybe there's a chance, a miracle on the horizon. All of them.
4 molos at Temple.
How many? Yes. And Nardis there, losing out to his counterpart once again. And Caselox has been a big proponent, but unfortunately can't do much more. 11-1 is our half.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it.
In our inaugural grand finals of season 51 of ESL Challenger League South America, one team has come to bat. One team has come to play, and the other, so far, has fallen foe to the pressure. MIBR, they have been unstoppable regionally this year, and they have just mimicked that on their opponent's map pick. An 11-1 half, which very well could have been a 12-0 half because the one round they lost was a 4v2, super dominant, and I can't even think of an ODDIK reaction to come back into this match.
Yeah, certainly praying for a miracle at this point. So often in these scenarios, we talk about the importance of getting the pistol and, you know, the force and the bonus. And I mean, the sheer amount of rounds that need to be garnered consecutively here just to give them a hope in this. That's a good way to kick it off, but unfortunately, Jesus, Venom Zero. Hello? I mean, sure, he's got the rest of his team backing him up, but it was just tap, tap, tap. More kills for him and all those hopes and dreams that I was talking about. Unless Nodus can replicate that, feels like it slipped away.
I'd say on the scale of tilt, that's going to be immeasurable. Or as I get the opening kill towards A, speed up, sorry, in water, speed up from mid to A, and get caught in the kind of like no man's land where they're scaling and all lining up. It's maybe a little bit too free for Venom Zero, but I think it just completely sums up this map so far. Klim will steal the ace, naughty boy, but this actually leads on to the point I was going to make before the pistol round of take a look at the comparison of the kills. Dira Zero had the most out of the first half with 7, but then you look at MIBR, there's 3 players on 14, and now Venom Zero on 11. Their lurk and small sight anchor has 6 and 3. That's fine. That's what he's supposed to do. But everyone else, full cylinder firing, and then the calls have been amazing.
This is certainly a team that's firing on all cylinders. Venom Zero looked a little bit labored for a second there. I started to get a bit worried, but 2-for-1 special. I'll be happy with that. The Tech Nines came to play. Didn't even have an opportunity really to get too much done here. Rifle recovered. Need to have some follow-up with that. I love this look, but the timing on this could actually end up to his detriment. Never mind. Sure. Yep. Yazera down for the count. Only 2 players remaining now. Bomb will get planted. It's the final round here. And when all you have to your name is 2 Tech Nines and a bomb plant, not a lot of time to work with. The only saving grace here is that there aren't any kits. So if they can find a way to burn this clock down, if they can just keep running distraction, there's a possibility. Nate's already gone down. Caselox now has to hold the line. And unfortunately, he will fall by the wayside. 13-1. MIBR.
Is there enough time?
Snatch ODDIK's map pick. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Sliver.
Got a little bit scared at the end there. Got a little bit scared of like, wait, is there enough time? The lack of kit got me a little bit scared, but what a disappointing way to start our grand finals. Like, I think the European game where TDK bested a pretty good alliance, that was such an exciting grand final of 2 tier 2 European teams that are both playing like very well right now, and a great opportunity, right, for the qualification to the regional finals, be it Europe or South America, that eventually is the pathway to Pro League, where it will be on LAN for the season that they qualify into as well, which is such a valuable equity. And MIBR, they've been the staple of just consistency this year with so many results online and on LAN, but even I didn't expect this, Sam. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if I see a way for ODDIK to come back into this series.
Well, there's only one way to find out. Map number 2 on the horizon, folks, just on the other side of this break.
feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get strong, just watch me.
It's the grand final of ESL Challenger League South America Cup number 1, and MIBR is running circles around ODDIK. No, seriously, a 13-1 on ODDIK's map pick leaves us with a lot of questions about how the rest of this series is going to pan out. Freddie, you kind of posed it at the end of that series. We're not entirely sure how ODDIK come back into this. They've had a moment now to discuss, to chat, to recalibrate to an extent. What are we thinking here? What's our temperature check for this next map?
I'd say we have MIBR, who are walking on a dream right now. Like, they are just having the time of their lives with this new roster. They simply can't stop winning. And we can go check out the MVP of the first map, which honestly, don't know. It could be one of 4 players. Okay,
Ooh.
yeah, I was thinking Insani, Klim. If we're narrowing it down, this just furthers their dominance in this tournament specifically. It's crazy. Like, if you guys have a second, just go and check how good Insani and Klim have been this year. Like, it's stupid numbers, like numbers that don't make sense, and the consistency is just off the charts. You know, they're the 2 highest rare players in this tournament, and it's like head and shoulders above everyone. Klim is also them, like head and shoulders above Insani, and then Insani's also above everyone else. It's like, it's ridiculous how good Klim is playing. It's always been there, and you could always tell, especially when he moved first onto the roster, the kind of level he performed when he first moved to South America. But there was such an obvious systemic issue with Kika, and then with LNZ coming in, it's been a fairy tale. And now we go on to an Inferno, which is the map pick of MIBR. They're super confident in it. And on the duality, ODDIK, okay, they have got, like, let's say a positive win rate this year on the map, and have got a win over Sharks, which is really impressive. They've even got a win over MIBR on LAN, but this is a map they tend to avoid. This is their most second banned map. Like, they don't want to play Inferno, and yet we sit in a position where now they have to rely on it.
Yeah, and I mean, you spoke about, you know, having won it on LAN, but in between that LAN and now, they did play it again, and MIBR took that in a 13-5 fashion. So also very, very dominant. And, you know, as close as it was the last time that they met up on Anubis, this time around, it was an absolute avalanche. So you can look at that previous scoreline and you can try and draw whatever conclusions from it. But realistically, today, on the day, that's the only kind of form that matters. And so far, ODDIK have looked a little bit flustered. But we'll dive into map number 2 here. See if ODDIK have kind of pulled their bootstraps up a little bit.
I need to see more from Case Locks, particularly on the rifle, but then also Nards. Like, I highlighted Nards, and he got 1 kill, I think, or whatever. You also unusually called him out.
Yeah, I was more calling you out, and he was just, you know, friendly fire.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Now
That's
just
how
depressed.
dynamic works. Yeah. Next up, standard. Oh, Case Locks. Oh, it's unfortunate. Team kill in the midst, and Diazero will take full advantage of that. 3 kill for him as the lemmings pop out of the apartments over the balcony. And that's going to leave Burnson all alone. 1 versus 3 here. ODDIK setting themselves up for some form of success into the second map.
Yeah, Klim just shooting everyone, including his own teammate. I will say,
he was blind,
though,
to be fair.
Yeah, and it was also just a bit confusing.
Oh no.
Wait,
Oh, surely
what?
not. Surely
What?
not. 1 versus
How has
1. He sneaks up
Burnson done
behind
that?
them. He's an absolute animal. He's recovered the bomb as well, and he's going to be able to get this plant down. And now, Nate, the pressure is on. Burnson looking for a 4th kill on this round, looking to snatch this away when it should, by all rights, have been ODDIK's. Reposition, spots the last player, and Nate falls by the wayside. What a clutch from Burnson.
I was literally trying to say how, like, Case Locks got bailed out by Diazero because Case Locks plays that pistol round very
Standard.
poorly.
Oh,
by,
Case Locks. Oh, it's unfortunate. Team.
Using.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes the replays have a little bit of audio on them. So,
okay. Yeah, so
I was not
was-
interrupting you. I'm not that rude.
No worries. Okay, sorry. That my
Threw you
mind
off?
is on like on a very thin wire right now, and that just like bam, I didn't even know how to process that. Like K-Slogs, gets bailed out by Dear Zero, and what I was trying to say was like, he's really lucky. That was a really bad start to this map for him, and then Burns in does that. However, ODDIK, they should have won the pistol round. They're going to be looking to win the Force Buy as Nate gets 2 kills on B-bomb site with the Hero A1S that I think Dear Zero dropped to him. Yeah, you can see Dear Zero's got no armor. And there will be a response over on long for Venom Zera, and they're going to try commit towards the A-bomb site. But there's 3 defenders here, including that A1S of Nate. This feels like it should be a lockdown by ODDIK if MIBR choose to commit.
It's another round where they're bringing this to a very close situation and forced up again as they had done before. And off the back of that, we may just have a little something on our hands, but Nate needed to live just a little bit longer. And unfortunately now it's just a Deagle and a MAC-10 to try and hold or stem the tide. Bomb will be planted and a rotation still needs to come in all the way from this B site. There's no reason not to at least make an attempt here. They'll meet up towards short. See if somebody shows face. That bomb keeps ticking away. Oh, actually, recovering some weapons here and getting the hell out. That could also be a play. Waiting to catch some exits potentially. But MIBR, of course, just gonna tuck. And there you have it. 2 rounds. ODDIK in with a chance, but again, slips through their fingers.
I'd say in with a chance is selling that quite short. I think if I was Nate, I'd be maybe choosing my words a little bit differently. Also, if you missed it, Woody died at the end. Don't know why. Don't know why he's just swung out library. Don't know why he's just decided to donate his life. No util for him. Venom Zera on 16 armor. By the way, that's cool. Look, it's being highlighted. I've never seen someone's armor being broken. Yeah, Venom Zera has no armor. Venom Zera has just been naded, and he's lost his armor, and now has lost his life for it. So that's quite funny. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a HUD highlight it either when they've got not much armor. That's really cool. That's really cool. But yeah, like that's back-to-back rounds where both times an individual has done something like impressive and has put the team in like a 95% winnable round, and then MIBR have just gone, I say to kill, I say to kill, I say to kill, round 1.
For anyone that wasn't sure, Freddy is quite a nerd, so please forgive the nerd out. I was kind of waiting to see if the Zeus was gonna, get something, but we've circumvented Banana for the most part. Free and clear A-bomb site. Of course, they don't know that. Oh, okay. K-Slogs, not quite landing the shots. And Sonny able to get 2 there is kind of crazy. Before finally being put down. Galil recovered now. Will Woody survive this time? He's all the way in the T-spawn. Surely this time he's going on a hunt. Oh, dearie me.
Wow. This is like not as egregious as the previous round, just because also it in the end maybe wouldn't have made a difference if he died survive last round, but it's the precedent more than anything. Is the way I'd like to look at it. He saves Galil by Dio Zera saves an AK and T-spawn. I say that Klim is hunting him, and Dear Zero is just going to walk. Okay, no AK for Dear Zero. Only the Galil save for Woody, and a 3-0 start where MIBR, especially because they've kind of stabilized a little bit economically, they're probably sitting here going, how are we 3-0 up?
Well, especially with how those first 2 rounds went. Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit crazy, but it speaks again to a lot of what we were saying on Anubis of ODDIK just looking like a fish out of water. Just floundering, even when they find themselves in an advantageous position, holding on to that advantage, I don't know if it's a communication issue or if there's, you know, something a little bit more dire happening behind the scenes, but they've looked quite lost in the sauce. They've got weapons online now, so give them a little bit of room, and Nate will find that kill onto Insani. That's a really impactful opener here. While Insani's had a bit of a quieter start to this map, we know what a threat he can be, and this banana is under lock and key. Nate not allowing any space whatsoever. 2-player advantage for ODDIK. Surely this must be the round where they finally make it happen. Nada's missing the shot. Oh, we were waiting to see more from him, but at least Caselox is there to try and battle it back. Flash over the top, but unfortunately he is stuck. Never mind. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck here with me. Caselox and Diazera get the final kills in the round, and ODDIK finally find their first.
Yeah, I was looking at Nada's here and I was just like, man, you're really doing me a disservice here. Like, lock in. lock in, Nada's, man. What are you doing? It's just so simple, these like shots he's missing. And despite that being a first round one, I'm really just not sure where my faith is. I don't know if I have massive faith for ODDIK in the longevity of things, but because of how close and kind of maybe difficult it has been for MIBR in the resources they saved in those opening 3 rounds, they're in a pretty weird purchase. They've got good utilities there, and they do have those primary rifles sprinkled in, and they are going to be going for a execute just straight off spawn. And Nades, if he's smoked out, he's just going to be completely isolated from this round.
There's still an angling happening here. Ooh. That could have gone very badly, but he does manage to make his way into safety, and Nate just sprays down 3. The counter lemmings. Saw that a little bit earlier on. Gonna leave only 2 players here. Bomb's long lost, so seems like an undoable situation. With guns in hand, even then. We'll see if they can maybe do a little bit of damage on this one. But I think ultimately it's just keep the weapons. Go next. And to be fair, ODDIK surviving with 4 players still alive is such a huge boon for them. If MIBR allow it. No, they do not. Diazera has been lost. Nate has as well. 20 seconds remaining. They could recover the bomb, but they're not going to have time, unfortunately.
Can they go back B?
I don't think so.
Or just commit A? There's no one on the A bomb site. They over-rotated. Caselox just went towards B, and Nars is on short.
Oh my
They've got a free plant. It's a 2v2.
Oh my god. And that is what separates the mice from the men. MIBR having the wherewithal to just go for it. The sheer guts for the glory. Insani now has spotted out the AWP of Nardis, and Nardis actually does win out on that trade, leaves Clem all alone. This is a round that MIBR shouldn't have won, so if they do manage it, it's a miracle, and even if they don't have to talk about that, because they do. Clem, clay pigeon shooting, beautiful decision making from MIBR. They turn this round on its head.
Wow from Clem. He just somehow keeps on impressing me. I didn't even know it would be possible, but this is just ridiculous. Bye.
Bro,
dude. It's the fact that ODDIK played that correct. Nardis gets his first kill on Insani. What a way to open up proceedings as well, by the way. Nice little quick scope in the 2v2. And then what he does, he just creates so much space for Caselox, and it's about moving Clem's crosshair as far away as possible from Caselox. I don't know if that crosshair could have gone any further away. Theoretically, Counter-Strike 101, ODDIK played that perfectly. Caselox sets his team up for success, and Caselox doesn't even necessarily fumble, he just gets clemmed. But then in the grander scheme of things, that was a 2v4 where Klim and Insani, you should never be counting them out. You should always be on your guard. They didn't play together in that 4v2. They were like 2A, 2CT. They were so unnecessarily far apart. And yeah, when you've got the two best players in the region right now in a 2v4, you have to stay sharp. You have to stay focused and not like anything but that.
My mind is still reeling off of that. The fact that that bullet not only hits, but straight to the dome as well. But focus on the round in front of you. Just had a little bit of a tech issue, so hopefully everything is squared away and we're back in the clear. Some solid util damage down Banana. Woody braves the fires and the flames. Gets his before falling by the wayside himself. I wonder if that was worth the trade-off. That will become evident as the round goes on. Nardis just gets absolutely swung on. But Dear Zera, tucked into the corner, gets a double. It's still not enough to deny the bomb from being planted. But surely in a 3 versus 2 retake, something can be done. A lot of damage done across the board here. Makes it just a little bit more difficult. But ODDIK group up. Gonna implement the buddy system here. Slowly but surely push through this smoke. Jesus, Venom Zera. Tapping away with this Mac-10. Following it up. 2 kills for him. And Case Locks, what more can you realistically get done? And there's an absurd amount of utility still alive and well in the round. And MIBR use it to beautiful efficacy. Yes, it comes down to just Insani alive, but it's a 5th round. And that's all that really matters.
I just can't do anything, can you? No respect being given over. It's another advantage for ODDIK that is being thrown away. Dear Zera, he's getting flashbacks. He's like, guys, this is the 2nd round that we've lost, that I've got a multi-kill and set us up for what should have been a certain victory. But in those disadvantageous post plants, MIBR, they're not scared. No respect being given over, because why should they? What ODDIK haven't earned the respect even remotely. And MIBR, a phenomenal performance. It's looking a little bit more ropey. I think we can agree on this Inferno. Like, it's not looking as clean. It's not looking as smooth, as conjoined, where there was just that immaculate game plan on Anubis. They've been saved by individuals in weird positions, but it just shows that when they're maybe playing their like C or D game of a map, because I think realistically that is actually where we are in Inferno for them right now, of how poor they're playing as a structure, but they're still able to sit 5-1 up because of how just damn good their individuals are. Klim and Insani, I know it's like, you know, not gospel, but they're 1st and 2nd on Face It in South America. They're 1st and 2nd in this league for stats. You look at every single LAN they've played this year. I think there's one that Burns in did really well in, like out of nowhere, and he kind of over-exceeded and slotted in between Insani and Klim. But apart from that, like kind of one LAN, Klim and Insani are just the best players in the region. And even then, the depth goes to Venom, Zera, and Burns in. That's how crazy good this team is.
Yeah, I think that this map and a bit have already shown us just how incredible it is. You know, if you came into this unaware, you certainly know now. They have put on quite the display for us. What I do find funny, I love that you called me out for not being the one that normally talks about this, but LNZ is currently sitting 0-5. It had a much better performance on that previous map, but I think this map might be taking a lot more out of him in that IGL role. Not necessarily like they're not losing, they're not like doing terribly, but the rounds are very close, and you've got to think, you know, how many of those crazy, you know, last second decision making things were him calling from the shadows, how much of it was the players themselves who were alive thinking up what they're meant to be doing. But either way, it puts a bit of strain on the IGL. And despite that, and I think this is the real thing that's worth pointing out. Despite the fact that he's not having the greatest map, the rest of the team are stepping up in such a way that MIBR maintain this lead and can consistently steal rounds away from an ODDIK who pretty consistently have been the favorites to win a round, and then it just slips away from them. So we jump back in now to round number 7, and it's pots and pans for ODDIK. We've seen them do a little bit more with a little bit less, but there you go. The Azera's already been taken offline. They've already made their way to top banana here, so a bit more of a passive position on the B site, and you want to get them a little bit more up close and personal when these are the kinds of weapons that you have, so just kind of draw them out into the open. But as the util starts to fall, the smokes block the sight lines. It's going to make things that little bit more uncomfortable. NNZ now playing that tip of the spear, looking to see if he can catch anyone out in the open. Does fall by the wayside, but the top of that totem pole has been knocked off. And since no one else committed to the site, it's super easy for MIBR to just back out and go A.
Yeah, like I was saying on Anubis that LNZ notoriously as a T-side IGL is just setting his team up and creating the space and opportunities. This round, that is all he did. Within 20 seconds, 10 seconds, he has full banana control for his team. If he dies, he dies. He takes everything for his team. They're up against an anti-eco. They know that ODDIK got aggressive in second mid. I don't know how Dia0 doesn't get that kill. If it seemed like he caught Burns in head turn, but they knew that ODDIK had got aggressive. Maybe he was going onto the B bomb site there to imagine, okay, Dia0 is cool for them to rotate towards B because he's got all the information. Maybe they rotated away after he left, or maybe they're just staying here. He gets all the information for his teammates, and he just allows them to tap it in. And that is the quality that LNZ provides, where, look, some of his T-side ratings, especially in kind of like full gun rounds versus full gun rounds, are really... you know, you're like, whoa, that's really low. But then you watch him play games and rounds like that, and you're like, okay, I can kind of actually understand the methodology of why it's so low, just because he's doing everything for the 2 best players in the region right now.
All about setting each other up for success. We often say this is a meme, but truly, it is a team game. When everybody's working together and performing their role as they should be, magic starts to happen. Ooh, there you go. Nardus, nice little opening kill here.
Oh my god.
Ace Lock spotting out one towards brackets, calls in the reinforcements, so Dia0 can start spamming down. Woody is right next to him to ensure that he doesn't get traded out. This is really good spacing, really good positioning. And now there's only 2 players left from MIBR. They've pivoted over towards the B-bomb site, but Nate's still here. Yeah, really good smoke as well.
This is cheeky. This is, ooh, maybe a bit too cheeky though for Insani. Him and Klim, the dastardly duo. If there's ever anyone, you'd kind of pin it on them. They've won a 2v4 already in this matchup. I actually don't hate the fact that Insani goes for that play. It's just the issue that they don't realize they've got the B-bomb site. Like, if they just go and plant and clear backside, and I think they had a second smoke, if they just put it down on coffins, I think they could have won that 2v5 just because of who they are. But unfortunately, they don't have the information we do, and think that they can't just walk onto the site, understandably, in a 2v5.
Always trying to play as careful as you possibly can. We always say, you know, they don't have the context that we do. So you got to make the best decision you can in the moment. Unfortunately, that one does go awry. Now, ODDIK have found a second, but there's still so much more that needs to be done here. And this time it's Insani with the opener. Woody not allowed to continue playing the game, and Nate very quick to follow. 1 player left alive now on this B site. Will be good for 1, but does get traded off, and the B site is free for the taking. All it's going to take is 1 smoke, and there it is. This is an HE to clear. Ooh,
of course he hits
nice
that.
shot.
Of course, of all shots, man.
You know, sometimes you gotta succeed in the hard shots. The easy shots, anybody can do that. So why bother? And of course, it's on to LNZ, who still has not found a kill. He's the human Flash to an extent.
It's lucky that because there's like two ways to look at this. The first is that you see IGLs who are not performing well. They then struggle to get into the game and they struggle to get a grasp in the game. I don't think that's the case in this scenario because LNZ's always in the action. He's always, yeah, like understanding what's going on. He's just dying on as they're going onto the bomb sites or whatnot, or he's flicked through a smoke. And I think it's also good that the IGL is the one in this scenario, this very specific scenario, the one dying, because he's like, don't worry guys, you guys are all owning. I am doing my job well, and he's going to be the best to understand that he is doing his role, and that is all that matters.
I mean, the scoreline keeps ticking up. So as long as that keeps happening, no reason for anyone to be feeling any sort of animosity either which way. And so that number does continue to tick up. Aggressive positioning here from ODDIK, trying to get up close and personal. Gets a little bit punishing, but they're keeping it on an even kilter, and it's not until Dia0 falls that the advantage swings in MIBR's favor. That didn't really work out the way that they were hoping. They wanted to kind of catch them off guard and change up the pacing a little bit. Ooh, Woody catches Klim, but if his position wasn't 100% telegraphed before, it certainly is now. Taking a little bit of damage on the cross, has to throw down the Molotov just to give him a chance to reposition. Meanwhile, the A site's free for the taking. Insani's going to head towards Library to make sure that there's no shenanigans coming from the CT spawn. But it's all coming from brackets. They're splitting up as well. Oh man, the timing on this is just so unfortunate.
Just get the kill. Just confirm the kill.
No. Oh, we've spotted the second player. Oh my god, how did Nodis not see him? Didn't even turn around to check, and Insani gets both. Oh, that's devastating.
Okay, so that's the reason why Insani is the highest rated player, or the second highest rated player in South America right now. I'm watching him play that, and I don't, like, you almost think, why don't you just get that kill? Like, you're in a 2v2, like, why don't you just get that first kill? Confirm it. No, he shows why you shouldn't. He shows why you should trigger discipline. He has just such a good read on that round. It's masterful. Like, it's such an experience to watch players like this, because they truly are just some of the best. And honestly, LNZ, man, like I feel so bad for him. He just can't catch a break. But it looks like ODDIK, they're catching a break. They shut down 3 players on the B bomb site, and I've got a feeling that they barely even saw one.
Yeah, there were a lot of flashes that went out there. I think both of Nate's kills were just full blind.
And through smokes. I'm pretty sure that's it, yeah. Like, I think Nades gets his kill by either the smoke hadn't bloomed yet, or there was a nade in the smoke. So, okay, we'll give him that one. Nate definitely just gets 2 blind smoke spam kills there, I think.
Magic. Let's let Venom Zero alone, but call me crazy. Not willing to count him out just yet. Not with what we've seen so far, but there you go. Finally, Nodis gets one of the easy shots. I'd say finally, that's a little bit unfair. But he gets the final one of that round. And it brings us to the final round in the half. And despite how one-sided this first half has been, there's a world here in which ODDIK get an 8-4. And it's not ideal on your CT side, but it's a hell of a lot better than a kick in the teeth, as my dad would say.
This is like a dead arm. Yeah. You know, in like a dead arm, when you like, so like if someone like knees on your arm, you like lose like blood flow.
Sure.
I don't know. I was trying to like, you're like, it's better than a kick in the teeth. So I'm like trying to feel like what's like not great but not as good. Yeah. Like, okay. Regardless though, Dia0 just does what, 200 damage with a nade? just a nuclear strike called him. Got a 4 kill streak there over towards stairs and apartments. doghouse, as the OGs will know it. And I like, even if ODDIK get 4, I don't believe that this has been such an insane performance from MIBR. And it looks like they are going to get 4 here. Nate's cleared out Banana. He's allowed for the rotation of Woody. ODDIK still have utility, which they can delay in brackets. It's going to allow for Woody to rotate over. K-Slox is holding apartments. This is a good round. This just has to be 4 for ODDIK.
All right, K-Slox, there's going to be a lot of pressure on your shoulders here. Oh my god, they've already lost one of the brackets players, but K-Slox does in fact activate, and there you go. Once again, it's the Lemmings that fall to the CT hold and leaves LNZ all alone. Surely he can find his first year. Oh. Never mind. 8-4 is our score at the half. MIBR fully holding the reins.
And like an anaconda, we are seeing MIBR squeeze the life out of ODDIK. It is a refreshing, delicious, and largely unexpected performance from MIBR. Not because of how good they are, or I underestimated them. It was, I think maybe I overestimated what ODDIK were going to bring to the table. They have felt very flat, very lifeless. They do scramble together 4 rounds at the end of that first half, but I am not sure how many more they'll be building upon, as on this T side, they're cruising for a bruising up middle.
It's certainly been a disappointing affair from them, but we'll see how things pan out as the rest of this map goes on. ODDIK on a around the world tour. I don't think anybody's even seen them either. It's very much just kind of threaded the needle and have started to make their way through the CT spawn over towards this B-bomb site. There are eyes on it for in case it may have happened, and now they will be spotted out, and it is every
CT.
single one of them. So they're just gonna go back A.
Well, so this is really impressive play from Burnson. So he's going to be clearing out all of Banana. And because right now there is a confusion of like, where are they? Like, what's going on? And yeah, so he's going to clear out all of this. In the meantime, Venom Zera is going to get the identification of their multiple numbers towards long. And yes, Burnson is going to be rotating back in. Insani and LNZ, they're going to dispatch with the player in CT. And Venom Zera just lays down the law of the land with a revolting 3K on the USP.
Certainly feels a little bit like an overcook. And obviously, as you say, MIBR play that well. You've got someone spotting out about 3 or 4 people towards CT spawn, and so they send Burnson out on that kind of exploratory mission. What I was really impressed with is how the 2 players on site on A don't actually move, despite the fact that there are 4 people in their spawn. And many of them have already been spotted out. They rather just play it safe, wait to actually see what's going to happen, hold the line, and as the rotation comes back towards the A site, they're in position to kind of shut it down. So, an interesting decision from ODDIK, an interesting idea, but it doesn't work out. And within moments into the next round, already the util damage has been quite nasty.
Sizable.
Both maps, yeah.
I'd say actually, even fair play to ODDIK though on their city side. Like they had some really nice nade setups.
Yeah.
I actually had quite a bit of impact in the grand scheme of things, because it was just something, which on Anubis there was nothing. But Venom Zera, he's cleaning house. 17-9. Okay, not bad. If you also remember, in the second pistol round on Anubis, he got a 4K, and then like the next round got 3 kills. So he's got this like second half buff where, amusingly enough, he actually ended Anubis at HLTV stats wise at the top of the scoreboard. Because of just, yeah, on the second half, he was just like multi-kill for the 3 rounds that were played.
That is devastating, though, for ODDIK to not have taken that pistol. Double digits now for MIBR. And that one step closer to winning out this series. ODDIK with quite a task on their hands. So, of course, the force comes through here. Venom Zera, just not much longer for this world. At least there's a trade-off. They can potentially recover that M4 as well. I want to try and get that firepower back into the round if possible, but no real time for that. The site has already been overrun towards B, and Insani, the one vestige that was there to hold back the tide, has been run over. And the last 3 players, not really too much to be done here. They're going to have to back away. And all things considered, this is such a good round for ODDIK to win, just because it resets that economy, particularly with the deserved force from from MIBR. It means that they're going to be in slightly less good standing in this next round.
Wait, hold on a second.
Surely not. There's no way. He's got a kid. Oh my god.
They can run through
god.
it.
And they do.
Okay, they're gonna kill him. But at least there's another kill on Nate. Whoa, that was close. Maybe if LNZ had a smoke for him as well, that would have been a different story. Cheeky from the IGL, who has had a rough game, but I will stand up for him. And from as I said, I feel like they were ticking along on that T side with... on Anubis as well, with precision of a Swiss clock, and it's like LNZ is it's the central cog, and he got, I think, like 1 or 0 kills in that first half, which is so disingenuous of his actual impact. But the city side is where he notoriously does also just a lot better. There's no kind of room where I can say like, oh, but he was making a space for his teammates. No, he's the one that now has to hold on to the B bomb side after his teammate unexpectedly falls. He does finally get that one, trades out into the 4v2. Venom Zero is rotated in, and it looks like ODDIK, they're still really trying to pressure him.
ODDIK found themselves an opening kill, but losing a little bit of that advantage. So now, start making their way up.
Oh
Blocked
my
off all these
God.
sight lines. The flash is
No one's
freaking
anti.
immaculate, man. I mean, unreal how well that plays out. Diazera's all alone now. The bomb's lost. I mean, they've also smoked off bottom banana, so there is very little that can still be done here, apart from just holding on to the weapon. Maybe seeing if somebody gets cheeky through the smoke, but one flash was all it took, and everything just fell apart.
Yeah, it's a brilliant play from the unsinkable Klim. As LNZ with the exclamation points. MIBR onto 11. You'd imagine Dirazera has no way in hell, but they give him a look in. Venom Zero ends all of that madness. So it's still going to be 11, and all things considered, still a pretty good round to be winning after they were kind of constantly on the back foot, with Insani dying here early on the B-bomb site, and it's just crazy how this flash comes in. We've got one player with Util out, no one playing anti. It's too easy.
Spoke a little bit about communication and how things have looked a little bit wonky in the ODDIK camp, and I think that round kind of perfectly encapsulates that whole conversation. Unfortunately, it means that MIBR will find that 11th, and ODDIK now in a very tight spot in the economy. I mean, 2 Tech 9s surrounded by 3 AKs. It's not the best. So it's really going to come down to how they try and isolate some of these engagements. It's not just about finding an opening, because they've had the opening kill in quite a few rounds, but maintaining that control, that's been the big problem for them. Maybe lean towards the A site. A little bit of noise being made. Nothing committed just yet. The fact that MIBR have so heavily reinforced this A site is mad to me.
Vibes cool. Vibes cool from Woody here. Just instantly, kind of out of nowhere almost it feels. Leave A, go B. It's the right call.
Yeah. And Sani's pivoted though. So he's reinforcing. And look at this aggression out into mid from the rest of the MIBR squad. They're going to set up a little bit of a wraparound. But LNZ is left all alone on the site. Now all he has to do is just buy a little bit of time. But unfortunately not able to do so. And so the pivot from Woody, or from ODDIK in general, does seem to work out. How have you gone and won that? Woody, distracted by Klim, gets traded out. And a lot of damage is done here, but MIBR very quickly decide it's not worth the push. Money's a little bit rough at the moment. Losing this round is going to put them in a tight spot. Hold on to the weapons, and there you go, ODDIK. A great call, and it nets them a 6th.
Yeah, that's a actually very rough way for MIBR to be losing that round, due to, as you did say, MIBR had the stack over towards the A-bomb site, and Sonny rotates over. It's very difficult in CT, especially when your other teammates also playing retake from coffins, to find impact. But yet he gets given an opportunity. He gets given an opening by K-Sock swinging before this smoke lands. If Insani confirms that kill, not only is it a 5v4 and a favorable position for then the retake to come in for MIBR, but it's ODDIK not able to obtain any space whatsoever, as there's going to be that banana push. MIBR still in control of CT, still in control of coffins. LNZ still alive. Like, that one kill changes absolutely everything. So Case Logs, who I said had to be stepping up on Inferno for ODDIK, he hasn't, I think, in the grand scheme of things, but in this specific round, it's big from him. This is a set, very fast play though. A boost up, lots of flashes early. The city side fight towards banana, and they're still going for it.
Oh, so much damage. Insani through the smoke as well. He pushed right up close and personal. It was Venom Zero that ends up being the first casualty. And Insani surviving for so long, that extra little bit of util damage, spraying through the smoke to get another follow-up kill. And literally in moments, ODDIK down to 1.5 players. Trying to battle it back as best they can, but Case-Locks called him out, and now a huge task on his shoulders. 1 versus 3, but cannot make it happen. Another smoke kill for Insani. Map and series point for MIBR. They are looking unstoppable.
It's just really interesting to see MIBR go for a set play like that with a lot of flashbangs, everything calculated. They go 1 for 1 in the early engagements, and then LNZ, who was throwing the utility, joins up with Insani and is just like, no, continue fighting. Like they just go back in for those duels, even though they just lost a round. But you can see the confidence is just overflowing. They no respect to ODDIK whatsoever. So why should they?
Last chance saloon for ODDIK in this round. And it is... Oof. I mean, I shudder to call
Probably
this
the
even pots
best
and
way.
pans.
That's probably the best thing to say, actually. Just oof.
Oof. Yep. And Insani playing this up close position again. Ooh. Makes the potentially right call here. Put a little bit of distance. Keeping this distance is one of the smartest things that he can do. I mean, obviously they'll have an idea that the economy should be pretty rough for ODDIK, and getting up close and personal against Tech 9s, Mac 10s, why put yourself at unnecessary risk? So playing a little bit further back, not the worst idea. ODDIK are going to take advantage. They flushed out some of those positions, so they're going to pivot over towards A.
As Klim goes B. Yeah. No utility left on the A bomb site either. That smoke in apartments, as soon as it fades, there's no util left, and they're just going to pop straight through it. ODDIK know this, and this has to be a big round from Venom Zero and Ellen and Burns in on this A bomb site.
Here we go. Set util starts to come through. This time, it's the Lemmings that survive the onslaught. Diazera, a double kill for him with the Tech 9s, getting some crazy value off of that, and just like that, they've managed to take down the only line of defense. The bomb will be planted. And again, MIBR, no reason to attempt this. Not with the way things are looking at the moment. Guns have been handed over, so they know it's not going to be as clear-cut as it may have been at the start of this round. So keep the weapons, keep the last vestiges of utility. They've got, what, 5 rounds to play with here? They're fine.
Famous last words. I mean, the last 2 rounds, the last 2 rounds ODDIK have won. If we think about the A execute, where K-Sox got ahead of the CT smoke, and there where Deer Zero is just jumping out. It all comes down to just the opening duels. Like, how is Venom Zero not getting a kill there? How is Venom Zero just in? Like, he cannot fall here. Him and Burnsin don't have a great setup to counteract a apps pop, but it's still pretty decent. And for a player who was 21 and 11 going into the round, very poor performance, where one missed duel just changes everything and reshapes the round in favor of ODDIK. 5 rounds to play with, as you mentioned, but with 3 players saving, they can invest fully here at MIBR to make sure that this game just doesn't get out of hand.
A lot of pressure on... Oh my god. Oh, whatever I was about to say gets lost in the sauce there as Diazera very nearly ends up dead. It's going to be Nate, in fact, the first to fall, but Nadas and Case-Locks are there to keep things a little bit more even. Now with all of this attention, all of this noise being made over towards B, that's going to pull rotations in. This is an important kill. What? And yes, Burnsin gets Woody, who was on his way to collect the bomb. Now with the smoke down... Okay, no. HE to follow up and get that final kill. Well, there you go. Nadas is left all alone in a 1v3, and so much of that comes down to this mid control. But again, we've seen recoveries from worse positions. Surely this isn't the way that MIBR win this round. A double spray down for Nardis means that he can recover the bomb. And he's still got just over 40 seconds. Swinging around the corner. Gets the kill. And gives them another lifeline. Whew. Close for comfort, but Nardis is the hero in that one.
What a just ridiculous round where it goes from, oh, ODDIK, they've cleared out the B bomb site, but then can't accelerate because they don't have the bomb of all things, to then, wow, what a just testament to how unfortunate this series has been, to then a crazy 1v3. Nardez finally stepping up. It's taken so long. Ironically, he does it with the AK and not even the AWP. But it's good to see that this 22-year-old AWPer, who is young in experience, is able to just brush off those bad performances. This eco is getting far too much damage, especially because K-Slox is also on 20 HP. 3 kills is quite delicious. Maybe even a 4th. Ah, okay. K-Slog survives. That got a bit scary.
Yep. Despite how close these rounds are, for ODDIK, they're just going, thank God, another one. Just one foot in front of the other. Keep focusing on the round that's lying before you. I'm still, like, reeling at the fact that it's in the previous round, just catching the bomb retriever and the HE that gets that follow-up. And that's all it took to bring ODDIK now on the verge of double digits. The MIBR are back in the money. The pressure starts to mount once again, and ODDIK realize they just cannot make a single mistake here. The recovery potential is dwindling. Both teams taking a far more passive approach in this round. Low and slow. Try to find that first advantage. Diazera could be in such a pivotal position here. Opening kill to open up the A site. Could just do everything for them. Waiting to see if somebody swings into his crosshairs. Smoke comes up. And take that space.
He was ready to go. He was ready to be popped out of that smoke.
It's Woody to push through a smoke and instantly get shut down. And now ODDIK, they're still going to keep pushing this, and this can start to get a little bit scary as it's still 3 strong, and despite the flash, somehow K-Slox survives, and Diazera swings at just the right time to shut down Klim. Now, with far fewer reinforcements on the site, Burnson has to hold the line, stem the tide, and cannot do it. And luckily, we've got a little bit of positioning here towards Library. Nardis is in just the right spot, can only get 1, but that's going to give over the information where this final player is. And once again, against the odds, ODDIK, keep battling back, keep finding ways back into these rounds where things start to look a little bit hairy. And LNZ is forced to just, once again, back away and hold on to the rifle. Double digits for ODDIK.
Double digits for ODDIK, and it's just another round of a weak A defense. Klim has been struggling. That is an undeniable fact. Especially his performance on Anubis. It's night and day. Venom Zera and kind of the rest of the team have plugged the gap where the void he's left gaping open. But it's like, you know, they're overcommitting to fights on short. The setups are Venom Zera taking a duel where Burnson can't even remotely play into it. Klim being caught off in no man's land. Like, that's not the first time on this comeback where the A-bomb site has just felt super weak, and very confusing how Venom Zera is playing so well this game, but just struggles to get anything on the defense, on the anchor of A. He struggles to get anything more than just a kill.
I'm amazed at how ODDIK are finding a way to battle back into this. Bearing in mind it was an 8-4 half. And the last time they met on this map, it went 13-5. Yeah, there was a part of me that thought maybe this was just going to be Anubis 2 Electric Boogaloo. No. They keep finding ways to come back into this. Lindsay. Oh, man. Egos the flames. Get shot through the panels. And within moments, we already have an advantage for ODDIK. And Woody shutting down this top banana as well. He's just like continuing to fire off pot shots in case anyone starts to get cheeky. But Insani with the boost follows it up with the third. How have they gone and let this slip away from them? Venom Zero pushing up into the smoke now has retrieved the AK. They've allowed him to do so. A little bit too scared to fire even into the smoke because Insani has managed to get so much done through even these denied sightlines. Only 2 players left alive. Too scared to pivot and get shot in the back, so they have to commit, run straight into Burnson's crosshairs. Diazera has to 1 versus 3 now for one more stay of execution, one more lifeline, and realizes there's probably someone behind him as well. Catches the first on the high-low, but cannot get any more. 13-10 is where we finally end off. Insani goes absolutely nuclear and secures that round for MIBR.
You could say he goes insane.
Hey.
Hey. But yeah, what a really good series from MIBR. They don't choke. They were so dominant on that first map. They let it slip a little bit on Inferno. 100% could have closed it out sooner. Klim was having a rough game. LNZ was having a rough game, and that I think came into effect towards the later end on the CT side, whereas it was fine on the T side. He was making space for his teammates, but what a great game from Insani, from Venom Zero in general in the series. I think kind of the MVP maybe for me, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Made in Brazil are your inaugural champions of ESL Challenger League Season 51 South America. 4 cups, potentially 4 different winners, MIBR being the first. They go through as your #1 team in the South America finals. Whoever wins that goes through to ESL Pro League. And look at some of the teams that started out in this tournament. You have Sharks, you have Imperial, you have Red Canids. These are the top teams in the region, the top teams in South America. ODDIK, they've also been contending at LANs and winning CCT South Americas. You have Glories, who are apparently the best team in the world at this event. And despite all of that, MIBR, they chalk up now their 3rd tournament win on the trot. 2 being a LAN, this now online. Almost 4, but they had to forfeit a finals due to a LAN final. They had to forfeit an online finals due to a LAN finals. They have just been the essence of consistency, and ODDIK, unfortunately, with some of those lower experienced players, it's hard to match up.
Absolutely. And well, we talk about some of the players, and we also have an MVP, someone who stood out head and shoulders above the rest in this matchup. And while it was him on the first map, it makes sense that he would get it on the second and the overall as well. We spoke about Insani, and particularly in that final moment, and there were a lot of moments where Insani came up big, but when you talk about consistency, it felt like Klim was Mr. Consistency in a lot of ways. And it's not just about consistently getting tons of frags, but it's also about really cool decision making that ends up snagging them positions that maybe they had no right to get.
I mean, I feel like we've robbed Venom Zero and Insani here. Klim had a bad Inferno. Like, he didn't really have any impact, it felt like. I mean, on the CT side, I think he had one round where he flashed him through the smoke when he rotated towards B, and it won them the round, and it was like a really sick flash. But I'm struggling to think of a single moment where he had like any impact whatsoever on that map. It felt like he struggled to, on the T side especially, feel the game and get into it, and then on the CT side was the A players were playing more on the bomb site. It was more, their stratagem was, let's take B and then hunker down on A and aggress in the mid rounds, but it very rarely got to a stage where they were able to get aggressive in the mid rounds. So he was usually just sitting kind of on his hands on the A bomb site and really struggled. I normally kind of agree with the MVPs, but I feel like we've robbed Venom Zero and Insani there. But it's not like Klim had a bad game in the grand scheme of things, but he just maybe that first map makes it look a lot better than it actually is.
Yeah, skews the stats a little bit. But there you go. That's our grand final of Cup number 1 done and dusted. South America will return in mid-March, just a couple of weeks away, where we'll kick off with Cup number 2. And of course, ODDIK will have another opportunity, along with all the other teams that play through this cup, to secure themselves a spot in that regional competition. But that's not it for ESL for today. We're going to take a little bit of an extended break, and when we return, it will be North America's grand final match, where they will determine who's going to be heading over to their regional final. So don't go too far away, folks. Get a snack, grab a drink, and make sure that you're back for North America. But from Freddie and I, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next month.
It's like where it lands is fine, but it's just not deep enough. So he gets seen in water and boom, dead. And they're looking to now target this B bomb site.
Woody is all
necessary, and maybe a bit of the inexperience showing where he doesn't back up, and because of so perfectly for MIBR, but the bomb site is going to fall into the hands of MIBR, and Burnson on the lurk.
I have actually played on this map in the last couple of months, and it was a much closer
Imperial to overtime when they've lost. Like, they're at least content.
Yes. And not a hope in this. That's a good way to kick it off, but unfortunately, Jesus, Venom Zero. MIBR shouldn't have won, so if they do manage it, it's a miracle. Goes on, Nardis just gets absolutely swung on, but system here. Slowly but surely push through this smoke. Jesus, Venom Zero. Tapping away with his. This is an HE to clear. Ooh,
of course he gets
nice shot.
Kill. Just confirm the kill.
No. Oh, we've spotted the second player. Oh my god. They've already lost one of the brackets players, but Case-Lux does in fact activate.
And yes, Barneson's going to be rotating back in. Insani and LNZ, they're going to dispatch with the player in CT, and Venom's in a second.
Surely not. There's no way. He's got a kid. Oh my god.
They can run through it.
From worse positions. Surely this isn't the way that MIBR win this. Swing around the corner. Gets the kill and gives them another.